Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm an intuitive reader, and today we have a very dramatic reading for the fire signs. This is for Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. I said the word dramatic and I really mean it. This is not for the faint-hearted, this reading today, so hang on, hang on to your hats. The energy around you this week, we've got the Tower, and when I was feeling into this card for your reading, there's just it's so chaotic feeling. It's like the ground, it's like standing on an earthquake. The ground is just shaking under you. You feel like nothing is solid, and everything that you thought you could count on is just kind of falling apart. And it's that feeling of being shaken to your foundation, shaken to your core. And I have a tiny bit of fire myself, and I know that when this happens, it tends to get your adrenaline going because you just get into this total that kind of mode. So I have a feeling a lot of you are feeling like very supercharged, very high energy, very kind of like just 3 too many cups of coffee, 3 cups too many of coffee, like that kind of feeling. But it's because there's so much chaos going on around you. So many things are just breaking apart, falling apart, and you're kind of like, I don't even know where the sturdy ground is anymore. Now, you are feeling and seeing some stuff come up from the past. We've got the Judgment card. So while all this stuff is kind of breaking down, it's like these old demons or these icky, dark stuff are coming up, but you're able to see them. And what I really like about this card being here is, as messy as this one is, the figure in this card is an angel rising up, blowing a trumpet. Because this isn't the first time you've been confronted with these issues coming up, you're able to step back at them and be like, okay, I see what you are. I want to be done with you once and for all. So there's a measure of objectivity, which I think it shows a sign of maturity, which is great. You know, it's not like you're running into these going, oh my God, it's coming up again, and starting fights with everyone. You're able to back up. And the other thing that I'm feeling is there's a finality with this card. You're like, enough is enough. It's time to be done with this. I don't want this to come up anymore. And your advice, I feel like it's more of a sneak preview for what is happening, or maybe an explanation of what's going on with you. We've got the Knight of Swords heading off in one way, the Two of Cups, and the Death card. Now, Two of Cups can sometimes mean relationships. I asked my guides if it was what they meant, and that is not what they meant, but they do mean the relationship with you and your higher self. So even though we've got this earthquake going on and everything is being ripped apart, you're feeling like you can't stand on the ground, you don't even know which way is up. This is because they're trying to get you to a new phase of integration with your higher self. And what they're asking you to do is leave behind any dramatic judgments about what's right and wrong, about what the truth is, and about, how do I say this? Stop picking fights, either with people outside of you or with yourself. You need to leave behind all of that positive, negative judgment. This is good, this is bad, this doesn't work, this is wrong. Those kind of thoughts, let those go. I know we got the Judgment card here, but this is a different kind of judgment. This is more like being judgmental, whereas this is being objective. So they're saying leave behind that. Leave behind your ego mind that loves to throw in all of these explanations for why your world is falling apart and it's horrible right now, because they're saying this is a transformation happening. And what's really cool is that when there's a transformation with one person in a relationship, I know I said this wasn't about relationships, but when one person transforms, anything that person touches also transforms. So this is your relationship with your job, with your significant other, with your pet, with your loved ones. So there has to be this moment of complete just breaking down. Everything has to disintegrate for a second because we're building it back up into something else. So, it's the idea that matter is never created or destroyed. It just transmutes, it just figures, it changes into something else. So you can never be really destroyed. Your ego really can't be destroyed. It can just be changed into something new. And that's exactly what's happening here. So in this process, you've got a lot of stuff going for you. You've got the ability to stay objective, the ability to not get involved in usual thought dramas and the emotions that come out of those thought dramas. But be especially aware that because of all this chaos, you may be a little more edgy than usual. And you may, instead of just relaxing and allowing this process to happen, you may be tempted to either pick fights within yourself or pick fights with other people. And that's not the correct, what do we call it, allocation of your energy at this point, because transformation takes a lot of energy, you know, like the caterpillar has to pretty much die to become a butterfly. He's not sitting there picking fights with the glowworms and things like that. And I know that's a childish example, but conserve your energy because it's being used for a greater purpose. So just stay out of the thought junk, and as much as you can, trust and maybe even enjoy this process. Like I said, a lot of you are able to step back from it and not get so embroiled in it. I hope that this reading gives you the confidence and just the awareness that, oh, okay, something bigger is happening. Something that's really going to shift everything in my world, all of my relationships. I see this just kind of has to happen. So I'm hoping that this reading gives you a measure of objectivity with your circumstance so that it can be over faster, right? The more that we resist it, the longer it's going to take. So please reach out below in the comments if this resonated with you, or if you just like to reach out and say hello. It's always great to hear from you. Please also like and subscribe if you haven't already. I just added a 15-minute reading offering on my website because I know sometimes it can be overwhelming to sign up for 30 or 45 or whatever, but if you just want to try it out and get your feet wet, see what comes through, what information from your guides comes through, check it out. Just 15 minutes, and trueguidancetarot.com is where you need to go, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great one.